I'm intimidated. But the more you chew, the worse it gets.
It really kicks in.
Oh, that is miserable.
What's up, truckers? You probably know this guy from our social media channels. He is the head honcho, Mr. Luke Williams, president of Central Oregon Truck. On this episode, we're going to learn a little bit more about Luke. We're going to get some of his insight into the industry, as well as the history of Central Oregon Truck Company. So buckle up and enjoy this episode of Drivers, Dinos, and Discomfort. Hello again, everybody. My name is Dylan, co-director of operations. Been with the company 10 years. Today we're doing our Dino Nugget extravaganza with the head honcho, Luke. I'll let you do your introduction, sir.
Hi, I'm Luke. Yeah, real stoked to be here. Glad I could come put myself through some torture on a Friday afternoon.
And you are president of the company?
I'm the president of the company. I've been here since 2012. Yeah.
Cool. And how do you, so I've done a couple of these. How are you with spicy? Like, what's your tolerance? Terrible.
Terrible, yeah. Go to the Thai food restaurant and I'm ordering like a 1 out of 5.
Okay, so this is gonna go horrible.
So the first bite might be all right. But,
yeah, after nugget number 2, it's gonna
nugget number 2 is gonna get a little rough.
Okay, well, again, for those that don't know, it's a progression of we start pretty mild and then we go through a series of questions. So we do a little Dino Nugget cheers, and then I'm going to ask Luke a simple question, which hopefully he's able to get through. I don't know. By the sounds of his heat tolerance, it may be a struggle, but we're going to give it a try. So we'll start with our mild Dino. And then go from there.
All right.
Okay.
So we cheers it, huh?
Well, that's what we've been doing. I don't know.
I thought you said you only put it on one side.
It's just the spiciest.
Oh, great.
Cheers.
I've been lied to again.
One more time.
Oh my God, it's cold. I don't know what's worse, the Dino Nugget or the sauce.
So we kept talking.
Pretty sure it's the Dino Nugget.
I don't know. At least these ones are somewhat palatable. The last ones were cooked for probably 30 to 45 minutes.
Cut out some shapes of cardboard. Throw some sauce on there.
That one's not bad at all.
No, it's not raw.
Like you said, just the taste is horrible.
Yeah, it's a nice mild buffalo on a crispy cold Dino Nugget.
So Luke, talk to us a little bit just how you got into transportation, kind of how it was in your life, obviously, from when it started until now.
Yeah. So my dad started Central Oregon Truck, obviously, with a group of partners, and so I'd always kind of grown up around trucking and transportation. After high school, I went to college, played football for a year, and then finished college and decided to go to work selling lumber. Sold lumber for a while. I did transportation at that company. We booked all our own freight, moved all our own freight, so I had some carriers there, and decided to make a change and ended up coming over here to our brokerage department because I had contacts with outside carriers and was using, I use Central Oregon Truck as well, but also other carriers to move our freight, and so came over here, got in brokerage, and the rest is history. I was in transportation.
Yeah, I mean, you grew up, I remember stories your dad talking about when you were like a little kid riding in the truck. I mean,
yeah. My dad started this company. My grandpa had another company that he owned, and my dad worked for him. That's how he got into transportation. So, a lot of history of trucking companies and flatbed companies. My grandpa, I know when my dad was younger, drove dump truck and things like that. So, always in transportation for the most part. And then when he started his trucking company up in Washington, my dad worked there. After he had graduated and had kids, he went to work driving truck. And my uncle still works, obviously worked here for us for a long time, works for our parent company now. So a lot of family history in the trucking industry.
Yeah, and transportation, all different kind of sectors. I've seen a little bit of everything. Yeah. No, I like it. Well, do we go on to section number 2, Dino Nugget?
We can stop there and just ask
just questions. Say what to do.
Just keep it laying.
Be okay with that?
Whatever you want.
So this next one's probably like on the Thai food level, probably like a 2 out of 5.
Perfect.
So this is about your level. Like this is what you ordered.
This might be a little higher.
Maybe a little
That last
higher.
one wasn't bad.
No, it wasn't. All right. Well, cheers to Dino Cardboard number 2. A little chili lime. That was really saucy.
It's got a little heat.
Yeah. Ooh.
Not terrible. It's got enough lime in it that
Kind of
cuts it a little bit.
but almost makes it more pungent at the same time.
Yeah.
I don't know. So you kind of already talked about this next one a little bit as you kind of went through just your history with transportation, but talk about just kind of your role specifically here when you started and how you grew within the company. You know, it wasn't nothing was handed to you in life, and I just want you to kind of go through that and what you've seen of the company and how it helps you now run the company.
Yeah. So I started out in brokerage, like I had said. Ended up getting to where I was managing the brokerage, and then, one summer, actually fairly quick, we had a lot of guys out on vacation, and I was asked to fill in on the company truck side and start dispatching and booking freight and planning loads for company trucks. And so I did that and covered a lot of regions, which was actually really cool because I got to know a lot bigger areas faster. A lot of times when we bring CSRs in here, as you guys know, we
Get funneled in.
You get funneled in. You come in, you're trained for one specific region where we have somebody leaving, and that's your region, and you don't know everything that's going on in some of the other ones. And I think that really helped me a lot in my career. Was like I was kind of that utility player. I switched around, did pretty much every region throughout the summer while people were on vacation, and then kind of the end of summer came and they said, hey, we're gonna do some different stuff and we need somebody on the company truck side, and do you want to stay doing that instead of brokerage? And I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed dealing with our driving team and just getting to know them better, and I liked that puzzle planning aspect a lot more than when you're booking your own freight, you're planning your own freight and dispatching it. It's kind of like we always say, a big puzzle that you're trying to put together and make sure what works best for each truck.
Yeah.
And on the brokerage side, it's just a game of volume. It's just you're calling, you're getting the loads, you're calling every carrier that has a truck posted or that but there's not that real intricate level of planning and detail of, like, honestly, when you're going for brokers, you broker good loads to them, but you don't know when that guy's home time is or what it is or what miles he needs. Well, now you get this whole other aspect of what needs to have to fill for each specific truck. And it makes it a little more fun, a little more interesting, different every day, challenging. It's not just banging the phones to broker a load and try and make 10% margin, So it's really that fine tuning part. And so I got into that, did the company side, and then, as that grew, they kind of just asked me to little by little do more, and started getting some knowledge on, okay, well, how's the shop run, how's the billing side run. I actually kind of got a step up, an advantage there too, because my wife actually at the time worked here. She started here before I did, and she was in the billing department, so I got to hear all the woes of the billing department and the accounting department. Like, they're always complaining, oh, these guys can't put in a pickup number right. I can't bill it, or they can't get me paperwork, So you hear that side and how your job affects everybody else and how the company has to really work together. But it really helped me build that knowledge fast of knowing the different departments and not just living in my own little bubble of my area.
When you talk about those details, those details are involved in every department of this job. That's what was mind-boggling me about transportation in general, is it's like the littlest things on so many different levels, and all different departments have those little levels.
So for sure. So then I became director of operations, and I think did a great job training you. I think that's my biggest accomplishment here was taking somebody that can be as messed up as you and making them halfway decent.
I'll slip you the 20 later.
Yeah. So that's not a credit to you; it's a credit to me. But
you
can still give me 20 if you want.
Okay.
And we just kind of kept growing, and then through changes, had an open spot at president, and in 2020 I became the president of the company. So
yeah. And your role, even as president, has changed too, to a certain degree. You know, with that role itself hasn't just always been just president. I mean, that evolved into much more too. As far as
2020 was a big year for us. It was I became president. My dad left the company and went to work for our parent company there for a time period. We integrated Levitt's freight service all in 2020. So it's kind of three big things, trying to adjust and get used to all the new changes in 1 year.
It wasn't like you were just trying to learn to balance this business, and now you had to figure out how to integrate kind of a business that's standalone, but integrate kind of into us.
COVID, all that stuff. It was a boomer year for me.
Should have waited to get promoted till 2021.
Yeah, and they were like, "Hey, look, all this bad stuff's coming. Let's promote Luke.
It's our fault, guys.
Let's let him deal with it." So I did that, and then 2021 was pretty good and pretty calm, and freight market was great, and then in 22 through direction of our parent company, we integrated another company with Hornady, and so as you guys know, they integrated into us. We ended up this in 23 kind of changing what that looked like, and we kept their over-the-road runners and some of their guys that were regional, and lease purchase, which was a program we didn't have, ended up going to another one of our sister companies. So kind of separated that out differently than what it initially looked, but that's business and life, and as you see things happening, you make adjustments. So it's been a little bit of a wild ride and busy few years, and I'm sure it
whirlwind of the last 12 years. Since the start here, everything.
When I started, it was like 8-9 months before we moved into this building. So we had the new building, then we sold the Dasky, and since 2012, there's been a lot of change.
Roller coaster ride.
For sure.
Cool. All right. Well, let's go on to Dino Nugget number 3, the chili bourbon.
Number 3?
Yeah. Scale level. We'll just go with 3.
This says it's a 6 out of 10, right there.
Wow.
On the lid.
That could have been $6.
Well over my limit.
Good
Cheers.
luck to you.
Thanks.
This whole deal could have been just Matt's scheme to get your roll here.
Yeah. I think my nuggets got messed up. I think that one's less hot than the last one.
I agree. That chili lime had a bit more heat than this one.
Yeah. One's a 3 out of 10 and one's a 6 out of 10, but the 3 out of 10 is a lot less.
That's a little more good.
Yeah. See more of those. Hopefully the rest of this thing goes the
same
way.
It just keeps going that direction?
That wasn't bad at all.
So transportation, there's always a lot of challenges, speed bumps, variables. In your mind right now, or just what you've seen, what's the biggest challenge facing transportation? In the industry in general, really.
I think the biggest challenge from my perspective in transportation, that's a tough question. That's like a loaded question.
It is.
How much time we got? Maybe I can talk about it.
You can have seasonal challenges. You can have different economy.
Maybe we don't have to eat more nuggets if we just talk about all the challenges. I don't know that these are the biggest challenges. I think there's a big challenge with parking out there. Honestly, something that our drivers have to deal with every day. That needs to get better. I think there's regulatory challenges with states, especially us being in Oregon, and the western states are some of the most restrictive about emissions and what they're going to do, and pushing for whether it's hydrogen or electric trucks. That's going to be a huge challenge coming up.
Absolutely.
I think short term, right in the here and now, it's a couple things. It's parking and it's cost inflation. Cost inflation is going up, where rates aren't following that because of the demand right now. There's so much capacity in the industry that rates aren't following that. So it's hard because you can't make up for the extra costs, whether it's insurance, tires, the trucks, lubricants. Like every cost we've seen has gone up, and everybody's seeing it, right? Everybody in their daily lives is seeing the inflation happen. Your paycheck doesn't go as far as it used to because of the inflation we've had in the last year and a half. So I think that's a huge challenge here and now that we got to get figured out, and then focus on some of the other things like the regulatory stuff and what they're doing with emissions. But unfortunately, kind of same with how it is with our environment as far as our business, right? There's always a lot of things going on. There's a lot of things that pull your distraction one way or the other, and I don't think the government and the regulatory is going to slow down on that. So it's always something that's kind of pulling your focus away, and really it'd be nice to just kind of have a timeout, have a reset, whatever you want to call it, to just focus back on here's the issues, here's what we need to get the infrastructure right. It's kind of like the stuff that drivers deal with out there on the road. There's road and infrastructure systems that really need to be totally rebuilt and revamped to help with traffic, with flow of traffic, but they don't. They just keep building the city and making it bigger, right? And your infrastructure just gets worse and worse. Like at some point, there's got to be a reset on a lot of things
just to
go back to the basics and the foundation and rebuild some stuff. So.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I think it's going to be a problem that we're going to see just keep getting bigger and bigger as we go forward, because I don't think there is going to be a moment where they just stop and actually take control of it a little bit. So
yeah,
good answer.
Dino Nugget number 4.
Little
jerk. It's only a 7 where the last one was a 6. So
yeah, and if I recall, this is like just nasty. I just don't like this one.
Oh,
it's not as much hot.
You said that was only on one side. This thing is loaded up.
Just doused.
I'm intimidated. Not bad at first, and then it just
just pungent.
It keeps growing. I almost don't want to gotta figure out how to swallow this thing. I'm not doing it anymore.
Man. Well, the good news is it's overcooked and it's cold, so it takes a long time.
Oh gosh.
It's like dino jerky.
Well, I already got this jerk sauce. They need to rethink their business model.
That's a challenge in their industry. That sauce for sure.
We're going to talk about a reset on that.
Wow.
Oh.
It's not, I don't think I'm hot.
You can't even it's not that hot. It builds like a slow, warm heat.
Yeah.
It's got a terrible flavor.
I do not know what it is.
You can't even get it out of your mouth.
No, it's disgusting. It makes me want to take a drink of milk, and I'm lactose intolerant.
Lactose intolerant and heat. We got an after show.
What? I don't think this is a one answer, but what do you think sets COTC apart from other carriers? Like I said, is kind of an individual thing, or as a whole, or just what we do?
Geography. There's not many carriers in Redmond, Oregon.
Yeah.
So we're set apart.
I mean, that's a very, very straight cut answer.
Very straightforward. I don't know many of them. No, I think what sets us apart, I think, is our communication and our willingness to work through a situation. Like, we mess up just like everybody does.
Yeah.
Our drivers mess up. Nobody's perfect. I really do believe we're good at caring, understanding. I think we have a good knowledge. We've always had leadership that came from within transportation that either grew up in it, did it themselves. We still maintain we have to have driver coaches who drove a truck so that they know what those drivers go through out there. And I think we've really infused that in our office. And do we lose sight of that sometimes? Do we have mistakes where people are like, hey, back in my day I did that? Yeah, we do. We're not perfect. But then it's like, hey, wait. Put yourself in their shoes.
Yeah.
What about when you were on the road? How would that make you feel? What do we need to do different? How do we get through this situation? And I think that's where we've been good at that for a long time, and I think we're still good at that. That heat is growing to number 7. But it's like the more I talk, the more it burns. And it's like, it's not in the front, it's like in the back of my gosh. I feel like I'm going to start drooling or slobbering. It's not good. This is quite miserable, actually, but no, I think that that's one thing that sets us apart. I think I think equipment, how we care for people, how we care for our trucks. I could go on and on. What I think sets us apart. You know, I always like to go to what sets us apart is our driving team. You know, and what they say about us. You know, they have a better answer to that than I do, because you know you're a little jaded, right? You think you do everything the best. But,
well, and you're trying to create those things that you're saying, right? And so we hope that's what it is. But to your point,
but I think, you know, we have that support from our driving team.
Absolutely.
I think, you know, you see it in the best fleets to drive for every year. The survey answers that we get, exit surveys, like a lot of our exit surveys, you get the ones where it's like, okay, maybe this guy had issues, maybe we had issues, but all in all, a lot of our exit surveys are really good, and you hear that from the companies that are giving the surveys. They're like, hey, you guys get better answers than a lot of companies.
A lot of
it's
industry change.
And not even just in our industry. I mean, we use a survey company that's not just in trucking, and they're like, hey, you get some good answers compared to, you know, other industries as well. And you see it in, you know, driver appreciation and what we do for our drivers, and there's a true feel of team here. Like you can feel that when you walk out there. Yeah. When you see 70, 80 drivers out here on the yard having fun, barbecuing with each other, everybody's friendly, everybody's joking, they're getting free stuff, you know,
it's not siloed by any means.
Yeah, it's not like, oh, the drivers are over there in the office over here and these guys are eating their free meal. It's like there's a true intermingling, and you see it in the office every day. I mean, you know, we're not one of these companies that the drivers stay behind a window or stay in the driver lounge when we come get them. It's like there's guys roaming around here all day, every day.
Well, and they're not talking about just work stuff. I mean, I heard a guy this morning talking to Alex, you know, just about like personal stuff and
personal stuff. You see them go fishing together on weekends when they're here. You know, I mean, it's a great thing to see. So I think the team aspect is really awesome.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think that answer to me is kind of something that stands out, along with this jerk spice.
This jerk just doesn't leave. It's terrible. Yeah.
Well, on that note, I say we just get El Jefe done.
This is the one that...
Dino Nugget number 5. It's the one that's supposedly only on one side.
No, it is on one side on that one. I don't even know if I should just, you know, take a little nibble and...
No, that's not part of the deal. You gotta...
Oh, there's rules?
Yeah.
Nobody told me there was rules to this thing.
We make it up as we go, but...
I'm intimidated. I don't know. Oh my God, you can breathe in the heat before it even gets to your mouth.
Feel it hit your lungs. Oh, that is so miserable.
Wow. Wow.
Oh.
I don't know if I can finish this thing. That's terrible. It's like you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. If you stop chewing, it's not as hot for a second, but you know you still gotta chew more.
Just wait until you finish it. Really,
but the more you chew, the worse it gets.
It really picks in.
What was that? What was it? What was it?
Well, I'm glad the last question short for me, but I'm just gonna open the floor to you and then you closing statements, whatever's on your mind.
Oh my gosh, I don't want the milk. Oh, that is miserable. Oh, that is miserable. How does anybody enjoy that?
Oh, I don't know. I feel like it's gotten hotter. Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh. I don't know if the milk helped. Holy sh! Whew. Can we curse on this?
I don't know. I think we can bleep it out. Do whatever feels right.
Whew. Wow, this is terrible.
It really just kind of sticks with you.
I hope somebody else had as much problems with this as I did.
No, I'm telling you, this is hotter. It's peak. My tongue is like numb.
Like on fire.
Yeah.
Oh,
man.
Oh my gosh. Seriously. You guys said this wasn't that bad.
I don't remember it that bad.
It was been in the fridge for how long? Does it get hotter in the fridge?
That's what I think. It's
salsa?
like fermenting or something.
They wanted me to do this on the first episode, and I said no. Then they spent 2 weeks convincing me that it's not that bad. And it is that bad. Somebody's not getting their Christmas bonus.
Oh man! So
Wow.
Close us out, Luke. Give us some good closing statements.
I don't know that I can formulate a thought right now, but you know, I'm glad we did this. I'm glad that we got to share some information with the driving team on your tough, spicy. Oh my gosh. I'm like running out of stuff to make my mouth not.
No.
But you just hold the ice on. It's not bad.
I know, but I was gonna talk or
Well,
two,
you
and then
talk.
you were gonna talk. I didn't want to be rude, so
Just
just
hold the ice on there. Like a tongue ice pack. Wow, that is miserable.
a tongue ice pack. Alright.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, no, glad I got to come out here and torture myself. Didn't have anything else good enough to do on a Friday, I guess. But hopefully everybody out there enjoyed it. You know, come join the team if you're not on the team. If you are on the team, thank you. Oh my gosh. It's good with ice on it, but then when it wears off, I think it's
I know.
worse.
Yeah.
I think I'm making it worse as we go. So yeah, if you're not on the team, you know, give us a call. See if it's something for you. If you are on the team, thank you for all your hard work. Thank you for everything that you guys do for us. We really do feel like we have a great team, and not just, you know, it's not a team in the office and a team on the road. We're one big team, and I think, wow. Yeah, that's something that means a lot to us, and that you can see and feel from. I really think the minute you step in the door, and I think, you know, a lot of outside people have said the same thing. It's just you got a different feel when you come here and you see the drivers interact with the team in here. And,
Yeah.
oh my goodness.
Well, I think I would say just on behalf of our team, you know, thank you for guiding the ship and, you know, doing something like this. You know, this is an example of just what you do as a leader. You do the, you know, you'll get your hands dirty in any job. You know, I see you out on the floor constantly, you know, dispatching trucks, doing anything, helping the brokerage, whatever it comes down to. And I think that just shows the leader, you're not scared to do things to get the job done, to keep what we have here, you know, the integrity of it, and make sure it's...
Don't get my hands too dirty. I got a weak stomach, so...
I draw the line at Dino.
When that bathroom gets plugged, I ain't volunteering. I can tell you that much. I'll call the plumber. I'll pay him.
we will know you have a line somewhere.
Yeah, I got a weak stomach and apparently quite girlish to hot sauces.
Well, thanks for being here. Thanks for going through this. Thank you guys for watching. Look forward to our next episode.
Without me on it.